North, in the home of the Grizzly, has been a stepping stone on the journey of the mountain man for Laramie Sasquatch Miller. Like the geese in migration, Laramie travels south along the rocky backbone of the continent, seeking the cat called mountain lion.
We got the dogs that struck up a track over here. They're heading down into this nasty canyon. People will think, you know, lion hunting's easy. You go out there and you run them with dogs and you tree them and that's it. That ain't even close to the story. I mean, we've been riding through brush all morning, just my legs are all tore up, everything. This ain't easy. It's fun, I love it, but it's far from easy. We got the dogs right down here waiting to see if they can tree that lion. If not, we'll be going through some more brush.
You track a mountain lion as far as he takes you, for as long as he lets you follow him. Like the mountain men before, Laramie's quest depends on good dogs for hunting, for guarding, and when times turned hard for the mountain men, for eating. Lewis and Clark consumed 263 on their expedition.
Just got to the top of this ridge. We probably climbed 1,800 feet. And now all the way over the backside, the dogs got on that line. It's clear across the canyon. I wish I had Pegasus, a horse with wings. But I guess we'll just have to maneuver our way down through here. I can't really ride it, so thick and nasty, so I'm gonna walk just like the horse.
The excited voices of hounds on the fresh track of a lion.
I think we should bring him back. He walked over here, looked, turned around, come back. The first track I seen was going that way. Awesome. So take a look at a kitty cat, kid.
Yeah, we just jumped that cat. We seen him from across the canyon, stalking in on these deer. But we just jumped him, now the dogs are on him. Pretty neat, you can see where that lion come and squeezed himself right around this rock. And they've got him treed right up over in there. Got some walking to do. We decided to give the horses a break. I think that was a bad idea.
It's the way of the mountain man along the Great Divide as Laramie Miller rides the high country on the echo of baying hounds and the snarl of the mountain lion.
And see, they caught us a cat. It's just a younger calf. Old Jake decided to climb the tree after him. What do you need? Let's get the dogs off and try to go get us a bigger cat. That's a nice thing about running cats with dogs, is that you can actually judge the size. Plus, you'd never see them anyway. You can actually judge and tell female, male. That way you're not shooting a bunch of females or never shooting any at all. Well, we finally got the dogs out of the way, but it's a decent cat. We're gonna let him go. We're gonna head out of here and try to find a bigger one. May regret that decision, but that's hunting for you. I'm out here just loving every minute of it. You look, there's nothing better than that.
For all the benefits the dog brought the mountain men, the horse was even more indispensable. The hundreds, even thousands of miles they ventured, running trap lines and trading with the Indians for beaver blues, were only possible on the back of a horse, making it deserving of love and care.
I'm just getting the snow and whatnot out of the bottom of his feet and make sure he's clean and doesn't have any stickers or anything in his frog. Most people shoe their horses all the time and make sure that they keep shoes on them and whatnot, but what people don't realize is that if you continue to do that all the time, all you're doing is weakening the horse's feet. That's why I like to, if possible, keep my horses without shoes as much as I can. That way it'll toughen their feet up, just like if you go walk around a lot barefoot, what's that gonna do? Toughens up the bottom of your feet. So that's why my horse doesn't have shoes. I usually just let my horse kind of roam free and pick for himself, but we got this weather coming in, and with the weather coming in, the animals move down. When the animals move down, the wolves follow, and that's the last thing I need, is to be trapped up here without a horse. These animals are amazing. Humans have a little harder time trying to deal with the cold weather and stuff like that, but you look at that horse and his hair will just keep growing. The colder he gets, the more hair will grow. You don't ever really have to worry about him freezing or anything like that. He'll just adapt, just like all the other animals in Mother Nature. You've got your deer hide, your elk hide, you know, numerous different types of hide, and they're all different thicknesses. Your elk hide obviously is thicker than your deer hide. And so, you know, your deer hide makes better summer clothes, as far as a shirt or, you know, something like that, a loincloth, whatever you might want. But this right here is gonna be for the winter. This elk is a lot thicker. It's over twice as thick as a deer hide. They're awesome for keeping your heat in and the wind out. I learned how to do all this stuff from my grandpa. Been in the family. Everything I wear is, for the majority of it, is something that either him or me has made. All growing up, one of my favorite things, I used to go to my grandpa. He owned a leather shop, and he makes anything from saddles to boots to whatever. And I used to love to go there and watch him work, and he'd let me clean all his machines, his old sanding belts and all his different machines. He'd let me clean it, and you know, he might give me a nickel or something like that for cleaning it, but it just tickled me to death to go in there and see all them leather products and everything that he's made all by hand. And it just, you know, nowadays I look at it and it's a lost art. You know, something like this would take you, if you wanted to do it all by hand like this, you're talking from the time you kill that animal, you've got to prepare the hide. That's going to take you at least a couple weeks. And then it'll take a solid 60 hours just to sew this vest up. So it's a time-consuming thing, but when you're up here in the mountains, what else you got to do? Sit next to a fire and build yourself some clothes. this morning, and it was negative 12. Been having snow the last 3 days. So it was so cold we decided to leave the horses at home. Well, we found the one track earlier, and then now we found this one. Dogs are headed, and we're gonna go get us a putty cat.
Along the white blanketed slopes of the shining mountains, the chase is on after the most voracious killer on four paws.
You know, these cats throughout the year, on an average, they'll kill a deer a week. You add that up, you know, one cat's killing 60 deer a year. Well, in the summertime, when it's hot and that meat spoils so fast, those cats won't eat spoiled meat, so they'll kill a deer every 2-3 days. That's a lot of deer getting killed by these cats. It's the predation that they're going to impose on all the deer and the elk in the area. It's going to make your deer and elk populations go down. So you have to manage everything across the board, just like your wolves in Montana and Idaho and places like that up there. So management is a huge key. Plus, these cats are awesome to hunt. Seeing a snarling cat in a tree 15 feet away from you, if that don't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. There's a lot of things people don't know about lions, but they'll make a scrape almost just like a white-tailed buck will. You know, like you see your house cats at home, they'll sit there and they'll kind of scrape and sharpen their claws a little bit and play around, or they'll scratch on trees. We haven't found a place where they scratched on trees yet, but here's a nice little scrape he made in the last couple days. And they'll just come and they'll just scrape it, kind of mark their territory, just like a big white-tailed buck will. Pretty cool.
Laramie walks where the mountain men did, sharing similar hardships and dangers. Some dangers, though, were unique to an earlier time. Trapper-explorer Jedediah Strong Smith, famed for having wrestled the mountain lion and been chawed up by the grizzly, with the red scars of a ripped scalp and torn-off ear as proof. But the foe that ultimately sealed his demise was none other than thirst. Tongue swollen to strangling from day upon day without water, he hunted the precious liquid. At last, he stumbled across a remote watering hole, but others had found it first. A band of Comanches, fiercest of all tribes, carrying lethal bows and fearful buffalo spears, rose up around the water. Swift as mountain lions, 15 Comanches sprang upon Smith. He knew he faced a slow death by torture if he surrendered without a fight. He fired his hawken, shattered the chief's skull between the eyes. As Smith wheeled his horse to flee, a Comanche arrow dropped him from his saddle, and the warriors were upon him before he could reach his pistols, running him through a dozen times with the 3-foot blades of their cruel lances. The trail that Laramie Miller walks today is steeped in the very blood and bones of these mountain men forefathers.
Tell you what, anybody who thinks lion hunting's easy, they need to try it. It's one of the toughest physical hunts you'll ever go on.
myths of mountain lion hunting are shattered as Laramie rides and hikes through some of the most rugged Rocky Mountain terrain in hardcore pursuit of the continent's apex predator.
Hey, look, there's a bobcat right up there in the trees. Looks like a decent track. You judge, a lion's track, if it's 3 inches, 3.5, more than likely it's a female. If it's anything bigger than that, then it's most definitely going to be a male, a tomcat. And this one looks like it's right there close to the 4-inch mark probably, so it's going to be an average tom. These critters are so amazing. We come up this steep embankment like nothing and turns around and goes straight up this bluff. They can leap up to 30 feet in one jump. If you think about that, that's leaping clear across the highway. They'll go straight up bluffs. Just the power that these big cats have, something to respect. I'm not afraid of not a single animal in this world, but I tell you what, I do respect a lion. They are the single most deadly animal in North America. I mean, as fast, they kill a deer and it's 3 seconds and done. But dogs will sniff him out, and we're gonna run and check this cat out a little more. Hear that? It's music to my ears. I think we might have a Bengal tiger tree down there.
Hound men call it jumping the tree, when a lion feels so much pressure from the dogs that it leaps from the branches and tries to run.
Wait, now we gotta walk even more.
It's all about tradition for Laramie. It's why he shoots a bare recurve bow and 2-blade broadhead.
Hammered him. He's done. He's fallen. Must have went through him and broke off on the backside up there or something. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a good old Colorado cat. Look at them things. I'd like to get chomped on by those. They got their old dew claws back here. Just remember, I'm 6'6", 270 pounds. You look at this Tom, you can tell he's been fighting like crazy. He's got scars all over his head and his ears. Got a big chunk missing. Got a bunch of bald spots. There's another good Tom in here running around that these boys been going at it. Tell you what, this has been a pretty rough week. Covered a ton of country. And we probably walked
I don't know, dozen, 20, 30 miles. Probably rode the horses at least that much, looking for tracks, and you know, they just weren't really moving that good. And then we got a severe cold front come in. I think it was 12 below yesterday, and then it's like 6 below this morning, and we found the cats, and this is the end result.
Without horses, Laramie must pack out the lion himself.
I got dinner.
And Laramie isn't joking about dinner. For the old mountain men, mountain lion meat was the finest thing they could eat. In the world of the mountain men, you strike a flame in the darkness to feel the warmth and cook your meat. You don't need it for light, because you always have the moon and the stars.